Hey everyone, my name is Dr. Vundi, the wellness doctor, a consultant psychiatrist, and this is the Self-Work Podcast. Here we talk about everything from mental health to wellness and everything in between. And I'm so glad you joined me. If this is your first time, welcome. We are going to have an exciting episode. As you can see, I have my pen. I have some glue. We're not doing an art and crafts project. We are making a vision board together. So vision boards are all the hype, but I've always done them and I believe in them, not because they're hyped up, but because I believe in the power of visualization and manifestation. Now, those two are different. Visualization is just that, seeing, having a visual representation of your goals is so important because sometimes you forget. Somewhere in May, June, July, you forget what you really wanted at the beginning of the year. And before you know it, it's Q4 and you're wondering, what did I really want for myself this year? So it's really good to keep getting these visual cues. And also it's fun. It's fun to kind of put it together. And so I want to make the vision board with you. But before we get into that, I wanted us to look at 4 important steps that you do or you can take before creating a vision board. Because you know what, guys, it's not about just getting pictures from magazines and sticking them somewhere and saying, hey, I've made a vision board. Vision boards are rooted in goal setting. A year ago, or it should be now a year and a half ago, I did a goal setting exercise, and it was rooted in the Atomic Habits book. If you've not read it, what are you waiting for? That is a book to read when you're thinking about setting goals. And basically the book and the goal setting challenge that I did was all about, if you want to become, if you want to achieve a goal, you have to become the person who does certain things to achieve that goal. And so even before we do a vision board, let's talk about the kind of person that we are, the habits, and then finally, eventually do the vision board. So I have four steps to take before you start doing your vision board. Number 1, before you even start the vision board, it's very important to reflect on the year that has been. It's very important to reflect on the year that has been. And if you're looking for a way to do this, there's something called a year compass, which you can download. Just go and Google year compass. And it's fantastic because it has so many important questions like, what was your biggest achievement? What was your best memory? What do you need to forgive yourself for? So it's important to take stock of the year, because sometimes you can finish the year thinking, I haven't done much, but in fact, you've actually done so much and there's so much to be grateful for. So reflect on the year before is point number 1. Stemming off of point number 1 is point number 2, which is make a list of all the things you wanted to achieve last year, but you didn't manage to. So sometimes there's the things you start doing in the course of the year, then you lose track and then you forget, and then you make goals, fresh new goals in the new year. What about all those other things that you wanted last year? Does that mean they're not important? Do they not matter? Pick up on the things that you didn't complete. I am a believer of completion. Finish what you started. If it's a course that you had started and you didn't finish, do that first before you start thinking of what else can I do, okay? So completion. Make a list and complete what you didn't do in the previous year. Number 3, super important, is compartmentalize your goals so that your vision board doesn't look messy, like just a bunch of pictures that came together and now it's a vision board. I believe you need to compartmentalize your life into different goals. I'll show you how I've done mine. I've put it in 3 different compartments. We have career, purpose, money. I know they're different, but they're very connected. So that's compartment number 1. Number 2 is friendships, relationships. And number 3 is on health goals and fitness, health and fitness. So you can do whatever works for you. Throw in whatever you need to, but I'd like to advise you not to have too many compartments, then it gets really confused, because the point of compartmentalizing is order and classifying things so that it kind of makes sense. Okay? And so once you've compartmentalized your goals, then it's very easy to kind of set goals for each. So you can say I can have 3 goals for health, 2 for career, 1 for relationships or family or friends. Okay, so it just helps it come together really easily. So that's how you do it, guys. Those are the 4 steps. Number one, reflect on the previous year, make a list of everything that you didn't complete, and start with that. Then compartmentalize your goals is number 3. Number 4 is to set now goals for each compartment. And that's it. 4 simple steps, and now you're ready to start your vision board. So let's do it together. I am going to share with you how I do my vision board. Now, I use the self-work journal. This is my journal. For those who are listening in on the podcast platforms, you might not be able to see, but I do sell the self-work journal, which is something that I created that helps people to journal, especially people who've never journaled before. And this is because it's a guided journal. It has different seasons of life, like friendships, career, family, purpose. So it has different questions where you can kind of ask yourself different questions and then you journal on that. It's super friendly for beginners because some people wonder, how do I just journal? Like, what am I writing? Have nothing to write. So this is really good for beginners. And more relevant to our conversation today is that our journal, the self-work journal, has a section where you can do your vision board. So for me, I like this because I'm not the sort of person who will stick up the vision board like in my house, because I kind of have an aesthetic of how I want my house to look like. And sometimes vision boards give a lot of arts and crafts, primary school vibe. So I don't want that on my wall. And so I do it in my journal. And also because I am all for putting your goals out there, but there is something about keeping your goals private until you achieve them. Let's talk about this for a minute. Have you ever shared a goal with someone and they said something, not in a hateful manner, but they just said something through the eyes or through the lens of their biases that made you feel like your goal wasn't good enough or you are not going to be able to achieve your goal? Has that happened to you? Because I want to tell you guys, you need to protect your goals at all cost. Sometimes you can have a business in mind and then you share it with someone and they make a comment that, but yeah, will that work in our country? And that something like that, a comment like that can really, really kill your psyche, your energy for your goals. So I'm not saying that it needs to be secretive. I really believe in sharing your goals so that we can be able to encourage each other. But I'm very team, let's keep our goals private and then we celebrate our wins later. So let's just get right into it. On the 3rd page of the journal, this is where the vision board starts. It starts with a section of picking a word of the year. This is super important. Before you even begin your vision board, pick a word of the year, a word that will motivate you, like your mantra, like your statement, the word that you can fall back on when things maybe are not going too great. That's your word of the year. So I've picked my word of the year and I'd like to share that with you. I think I've shared this with people on my social media, but here goes. My word of the year is actually 2 words. It's radical acceptance. Radical acceptance. And the thing is, radical acceptance is rooted actually in a kind of therapy called DBT. And I had printed out a statement here that says, transformation begins with a radical acceptance of what is. So before you can think about changing anything in your life, be it a habit or elevating to the next level, you have to accept where you are, your habits, who you are, so that you can think of improving or maintaining or removing some things. So this is very, very important to me. Radical acceptance also means that sometimes, especially when you're having a situation that's not so favorable, maybe you're going through a challenging time, challenging times will be there, but a lot of times depression and anxiety comes from the fact that you're just really grappling with, why is this happening to me? Am I unlucky? Why am I going through this? So radical acceptance shifts your mindset to, okay, so this is happening. This is life. Life has different seasons. What do we do about it? How do we think? What do we do? Is there a solution? So this is such an important point for anybody who's been dealing with trying times, anybody who's been dealing with anxiety and worrying. And also for people who are very blessed and have a lot of opportunities, but you're always questioning, am I really going to make it? Do I really have the potential? Will my podcast really get to where I want it to be? Because guess what? I was stuck in that loop. I was stuck in a loop of always questioning, and then you're not even looking back and thinking, wow, this is where I am. This is where I've reached. So this is the power of radical acceptance. And so this is the statement that I picked out, and I'm just going to go ahead and get my glue and stick this in the part where it says pick your word of the year. Now, don't be like me. I printed out such big pictures, so I'm struggling to fit them into this, but yeah, you can always like modify. By the way, I printed these for like about 100 shillings at Chapa Copy. Vision boards are not expensive. I know some people think you have to get a magazine and then cut out stuff and go through thousands and thousands of magazines. I mean, you don't have to. Literally just go to Pinterest, type out, like what I typed out for this is radical acceptance, and it gave me this amazing quote, and then I saved the picture and I printed it. That's it, guys. And there we have it. Let me put it right here. And there we have it. We've picked the word of the year. Yeah. And so what I plan to do with this space is just to write a little bit of like affirmations about radical acceptance. So that's what I intend to do with this space. So let's move to the actual now vision board. So as I said, I had divided my life into 3 different sections. The first one is about relationships. So this encompasses family, friends, and marriage for me. So I'm not going to share with you my marriage goals because that's hella private. But I want to share with you one of the relationship or friendship goals that I have. So my good friend Lydia has introduced me to how to maintain adult friendships because I was struggling. Your girl was struggling. I have lost a lot of friends on the way, and I was beginning to feel like, is it me? Am I the drama? And actually I was the drama. I was doing some things not right. So Lydia taught me to date your friends. And that's what I want to do more. And as you can see in this picture, this is a picture of some girlies this looks like brunch, because this definitely looks like some bubbly. And I want to do this more. I want to date my friends. As women especially, we date a lot, and we do the most when we're going on dates with guys. We will dress up, we'll do the most. We'll buy new clothes, we'll do our hair. But like when we're meeting our friends, it's always, can I come to your house, or like, let's do fast food, let's do takeout. I want to date my friends more. I want to go on dates with my friends and date them intentionally, plan to see them, not just see them when you see them. And that's what that is. So moving on to career. So career for me is also joined with purpose and money. And one of the things that I want to do is to be able to save a certain amount, which I have here. And I think it's not just about saving, it's about investing. So I'll make some notes here on the side about what this picture means. But it's something that I've wanted to do for a long time, to save a certain amount of money and to invest it, not just to have it sitting around somewhere. Now, I will say I have struggled a lot with finances, and the thing is, I've never ever been intentional about my finances. I told you guys I've always done vision boards. It's not the first time. And I never seem to have a money goal. I never seem to say, I want to save this much or I want to invest this much. Well, this is the year, and that's it. This is where I post that. and I'll make some notes down here as to how I will achieve this goal. This picture is actually tied in a lot to my podcast. This is a picture of one of my favorite podcasts, The Diary of a CEO by Stephen Bartlett. I don't know how I'm pronouncing it, but he's a well-known podcaster, and this is where I want my podcast to get to. And actually, I took a screenshot of this because this is one of my favorite episodes on this podcast, and it's about happiness. Please, guys, go check it out. It's an interview with Mo Gador. I hope I'm also saying his name well, but I listened to this podcast and this specific episode, and it changed my life. Guys, I'm not being dramatic. It changed my life. It changed my whole outlook on what happiness is. Maybe I can give you a bit of a hint as to the episode. The episode talks about the happiness formula, which Mr. Mo Gador came up with. And it's not complex. And he was basically saying that the thing that's robbing us of happiness is actually our expectations and our blind spots, like control. You expect something to be a certain way. For example, you expect your wedding to be a certain way. And if it's in any way different from what you expected, you're not even enjoying your day because you're so busy looking at what didn't go right. You expect your kids to do a particular thing. You expect them to pursue a certain career. And when they don't, it's like they're a disappointment. So please listen to that episode, guys. It changed my life. But also my podcast is going to be that podcast. It's going to get there. I believe it, I manifest it, and it's happening. Lastly, the last compartment of my life that I want to focus on is health and wellness. Obviously, I wouldn't be the wellness doctor without this in my life. And I printed out 2 pictures because for me, I've reached a point in my health goals where it's not about how I look or a certain number on the weighing scale no, for me, health and fitness is about doing activities that make me feel good. So one of the things that has been making me feel good is walking my dog. I have a dog and I try to walk him daily. And it's literally the best part of my day, but it also helps me to be fit. So that's one of my health goals. And I'm going to stick it on the vision board. And the thing is, whenever I'm walking my dog, I realize just how happy pets are. Dogs mostly. I don't know about cats. I don't know about you cat people, but I'm joking. Don't come for me. But dogs have this mindfulness. They're just present. Like every time I'm with my dog, when I'm walking my dog, I try to leave my phone at home so that I can just be present. Like if we are walking at night, I'll be looking up at the stars and I'm just in that moment, right? And about the thing about mindfulness is that we're so used to, as a generation, to doing things together. Like, let me do this and this. I'm eating my dinner, but I'm watching a movie. So every time I'm walking my dog, those are the few times I can just be present. And I want to do more of that. Lastly is yoga. Now, I got into yoga deeply, should be last year. And I don't even need to tell you guys the benefits of yoga, because are we still explaining why yoga is good for you in 2023? Because it's good for you in so many aspects. Your body, your mind, again, mindfulness. Mindfulness is fantastic. And I also joined a hot yoga studio, which now actually is more of a challenge for my body. Guys, I'm never going to come here and tell you the benefits of yoga. I've talked about yoga enough. And there we are. That is my last goal. And this is my vision board, guys. I can't believe it. I can't believe I did it with you. I know it's super simple, but that's how I like to do things. And I can't wait to make more notes and just use this along during the year when maybe I want to kind of be reminded about where I'm going. So that's it, guys. I hope that this will inspire somebody to do their vision board. I hope that you see how simple it is. It's taken us 10-15 minutes. So anybody can do this. You don't need a lot of money, you don't need a lot of stuff. You might need the self-work journal. So get yourself one of these by DMing me on Instagram. It's available for order within Nairobi. Within the outskirts of Nairobi, we are also able to deliver. So get yourself one of these. And yeah, that is it, guys. That is it. I do wish you all the best in this year. Go for your goals. Go for your goals. Don't let anybody tell you your goals are too big. Don't let anybody speak into your dreams and put them down. You can do every single thing you put your mind to. Thank you so much for watching. As usual, remember to subscribe and share this with somebody who you feel needs to watch this. As usual, love and light. I will see you in the next episode. Bye.